Alright, Dave Brennan with American Pinball Tech Service. Today I'm going over adjustments for the spinner, specifically on Oktoberfest. I have a customer that is having some issues with the ball getting stuck by the spinner and magnet in the upper flipper. So I just kind of place the ball there to show what he's seeing. And essentially, when the ball gets attracted to the magnet, it also pulls the spinner towards it, and it's propping up the ball and creating a stuck ball. So this is really more of an adjustment to make it so when the magnet de-energizes, that the ball will just roll down like it's supposed to. So what you can do is, this spinner arm is actually adjustable to an extent. So what you can do is take this spinner arm. There's actually where it's attached to the playfield is underneath this plastic. So if you want to see, you can remove that plastic. But essentially, you want to move that away from the magnet, so it doesn't. So it's a little further away and doesn't have that opportunity to prop up the ball. The other thing that you can do is give the spinner some forward bias, and what I mean by that is you want to push backwards on the face of the spinner, and so what it'll do is it will make the arms bend slightly forward. And the purpose of that is so that you have the bottom of the spinner pointing slightly towards the player. This particular customer wants to see the steps of how to replace the spinner, so I'm going to show that now. So it's pretty simple to change. Just pay attention to the orientation of the spinner decal. So on the front side, it's the empty beer stein with the tap at the top, and then you flip it over and it's the full beer stein with the tap at the top. So anyway, to get this out, all you have to do is kind of manipulate the spinner arm. I'm doing this over the camera, so it's a little hard to get my fingers in there. Okay, so just pay attention to the arms of the spinner. You notice that one has more curves to it, so you got to put this one in first, and it's on the right hand side. Okay, so do this in the reverse order. Now that arm needs to go on the top side of the micro switch. The lever arm goes on top of the micro switch lever arm. Okay, and then I just bend this back straight. Now, the spinner should actually have, let me bend this down a little bit. The spinner should actually have a little bit of angle forward. At least that's my preference. So in order to make it do that, you have to kind of push in on the spinner. So the arms are like bending forward. So if you push back on it, you should bend that forward a bit. So it gives it a little bit of forward bias. And the reason I do that is so the ball contacts the bottom edge of the spinner first, versus if it was on the back side, it has less momentum. So when it just will hit the end, and it's already, it gives it more of a hit if it's bent forward a little bit. Okay. So now, again, check to make sure that spins nice. Looks like it does. Okay, so now you take your new decals. If I didn't have the new decals, I'd have to carefully peel off the old ones, but since I have some new ones, so the front, remember, was the empty Stein. Actually, let me just move it so you can see a little better. Kind of line it up, lightly place it on there, and then you could probably manipulate it some to center it. Or you can, it might be easier to add this before it's in position, but however you want to do it. Okay, now the next one, turn this over. And just stick it down. Alright, the last tip that I'll give is a little something extra that I do to most games is I add a little bit of dry bike lubricant. I got this at my local bike shop, but you can get it on Amazon. I just keep this in my tool bag. I'll just use a little Q-tip, and this is one of the only places where I'll ever put any bit of lubrication on a pinball machine, and really it's just to add a little bit more action to your spinner. I do this on a lot of my classic Stern and Bally games, and it works really well. So you just put a little bit is all you need, and you can just put it on the spinner arms on both sides. It's right where it goes into the bracket. Okay, and then it gives it a little bit more spin to it. So there's my little tip. Alright, that's pretty much all I know about adjusting spinners. Hopefully that was helpful.